All right, are we in?
Yep.
It's the wonder of nature, baby. Hey guys, it's Big Jack Films here. We're trying something new here. Welcome to the Wednesday live stream. I am here with Kaiju Network. I think this is your first time on our channel, isn't it? Like your first time on our show?
I've been on once.
Yes, we're trying out this brand new streaming service called StreamYard, which a lot of people have told me is really good. So I'm seeing if it works, and so far so good. The camera's a little fucky, but who gives a shit? So it's just going to be a very kind of simple live stream, and it depends on how long we go, because there is also a massive thunderstorm brewing outside. So who knows? We've had an F1 hit our neighborhood before, which was pretty crazy. So literally, I've just been thinking of Twister all day. So have you seen Twister?
No, but I've heard.
Bro, that movie's like a fucking 90s masterpiece. They made a ride out of it, for God's sake. So, yeah, we're just here, just a typical live stream. We're just here to talk about movies. I figured I'd change up the formula a little bit. A few updates before we get started, of course, just to get you guys cleared up with what's been going on. Had a couple videos posted this week. I've been working with a client currently, and just a lot of good stuff's been happening lately. And I want to give a few shout outs on this stream. Obviously, one to Kaiju Network, guys. Go check out his YouTube channel. He does amazing news and updates on all things Kaiju related, Kong, Godzilla. He's got a new series where he's reviewing all the Kong movies, all the Godzilla movies. They're pretty good videos.
Yeah, all the shows.
Yeah. And on top of, yeah, you're the one to go to about the Joe DeVito series, which I have actually an interesting announcement to make before we get started on like just talking about shit. But that's one of the shout outs. The other shout out, I believe, is to Batty Alana, who's on Instagram. She's an amazing cosplayer. She's been on the show a few times. And the last person I want to give a major shout out is a newcomer. Well, not really. She's kind of rebooted herself, known as Jessica Rose Cosplay. I will leave her YouTube channel in the description below. You guys might know her as Lunachi Bunny. She's appeared on the channel a few times. She is rebranding her format, and you guys, link down below, go subscribe to her, and she'd really appreciate it, because we're trying to get her up into the YouTube community. So any help you can, Kaiju Network, GTS Reborn, if y'all can just go support her, I'd appreciate that.
Sweet.
So, yeah, we're just here to talk about movies and just shit the shit for a while. So if you guys have any questions about movies or whatever, I do want to say very quickly. So my last King Kong review that came out this Friday or Saturday, it was actually delayed a little, was on the King Kong books, and it's gotten such good critical reception that a lot of the authors of the books I mentioned are actually sharing my video on their social media. So Ray Morton, who wrote The History of the Movie Icon, which is a book you should read, Ryan. It's a great book. It's my Bible, essentially, if you want to know the whole history of Kong in detail. But also, Joe DeVito reached out to us. He was very impressed with what we had to talk about. And he's sending us a few review copies of the other books he's made and helped out on. So we're getting essentially our first sponsorship, which is pretty cool. So I'll be doing an update video on that. But anyway, so that's just the announcement. But yeah, I don't know. So we'll just shoot the shit. I have seen most of the Harryhausen Sinbad movies, Brian, and also I just watched The Fly this weekend, like the remake with Jeff Goldblum. You ever seen that one?
No, I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Dude, the makeup and the effects in the remake of The Fly are spectacularly gross. You're just watching it like, oh my God. Like I'm starting to get into a bit more gore and stuff. So that one I was just like, whoa, shit. So I guess, I don't know, like, are there any movies you want to talk about in particular, or any questions, or?
I did want to address, because I saw some people asking. Yes, Junkie XL is the GVK composer now. Yes, officially. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to actually talk about that, because I've been getting announcements of that. Junkie XL, I know very little of. The only score I know they did was Batman v Superman, but that was just kind of, I mean, Batman v Superman's very 50-50 for me.
I like the score, but that's
the one score I do like is the opening scene where Bruce Wayne's driving through Gotham, that whole bit, because it reminded me a lot of like something like music straight out of The Dark Knight. Because I think there has been rumors that that movie was supposed to have Christian Bale's Batman, but because of what happened in Colorado, they had to reboot the character because they felt he was too realistic. And there's hints to that because one, Dark Knight Rises and Man of Steel were being shot at the same time, around the same time, both scheduled a year apart. But then on top of that, you watch Man of Steel, go look at it again, and you'll see that the Wayne Tech satellite logo is the same as the Bale Bruce Wayne.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, and that's, I think, what the plan was. And that's why people were excited, because, wow, Christian Bale's coming back as Batman. Now he gets to fight Superman. And those three movies have a continuation onwards, but they didn't do that because of what happened. And there he is. There he is in his all green screen George Lucas set glory. Don't worry, Ryan. Don't worry, Ryan. We're gonna put Jar Jar in the background for you. Oh, look at me. I'm George Lucas. That's my best George Lucas impression. It's really hard to do.
God damn it. George Lucas, man.
I like George. I don't care. No, I like George.
You know what? Actually, what got me into filmmaking, one of the biggest things was I would watch the behind the scenes of the prequel films like over and over.
I'm one of those people who say the making of episode 1 is one of the best filmmaking documentaries of all time. Because you just get to see the production from beginning to end and how they tried to make it. They were really excited. Little did they know that. Don't you love in that documentary too? They never show the aftermath, like of the Phantom Menace. They never show what critics thought. Like they show everybody getting excited. The movie starts, then they fade out and just shows George Lucas writing Star Wars Episode 2. You know, and that's how it ends. Because like they don't even want to bother with the critical reception.
Yep.
That's what Mr. Plinkett's for. Have you ever seen the Plinkett reviews?
No, but you mentioned before.
Dude, they're okay. Despite me still liking the prequels, they are hilarious dissections. And they're almost like filmmaking schools in a video. And literally the first sentence of the Phantom Menace review is, Star Wars The Phantom Menace is the most disappointing thing since my son. That is literally the mindset of the start of these reviews. You need to watch them because afterwards you won't be able to unsee them. Like you remember that one alien in the Trade Federation that had the weird fucking mask thing? He was like, "Sir, they've gone up the ventilation shaft." You remember that guy? Right? Well, the whole time he keeps cutting back going, "What's wrong with your face? Oh, what, you smoke too much?" But yeah, like yeah, those documentaries are good. It's that and Within a Minute. Within a Minute's fantastic. I think for me, yeah, because that's one thing to look at, Ryan. That's a really good way to get into filmmaking because I never went to film school. My education was DVDs, was behind the scenes stuff. I think the first one that got me interested was probably the making of Jurassic Park on the original DVD release. It's actually hosted by James Earl Jones. That's a really good one because it just kind of shows how technology was slowly advancing to where we could create really good effects using CGI, but it's still focused a lot on practical. Like you look at Jurassic Park in that movie, about 90% of the effects are still practical by Stan Winston, and the other 10% is CGI. I think there were only 50 shots that were CG in the whole movie.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, like yeah, there's a couple of things. Yeah, just movies are just that's just kind of the thing I did. Like look at all these posters. All these posters for movies, for God's sakes, I have back here. You wish you had half this stuff. Yeah. You got. And see, that's the thing. When the movie comes out, you're gonna be. I want to get T-shirts made because we're actually gonna start making merchandise. By the way, when the movie comes out, I want to make T-shirts that have either Team Godzilla or Team Kong, but they're in the font of Twilight because of the whole. Remember, like when Twilight came out, those. No, remember when Twilight came out? Those T-shirts that said Team Edward, Team Jacob,
yeah.
Same font, but with Team Godzilla and Team Kong, just as a joke.
Dude, I'm telling you.
And I think those would sell. Like, if you guys want those shirts, I'll get those made.
They have to do some kind of, like, election thing. Like, Like, you don't like the U.S. election? This is the real friggin' election, November.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, my God. I feel so sorry for you guys. Oh, my God. You know, that's... I don't get into politics, but goddamn, yeah, you're right. I'm Team Kong. But wait, is Kong a Republican or a Democrat?
You know what? I don't know. Godzilla's older, so probably more traditional. But then again, Kong's kind of an asshole.
So which one is Hillary Clinton? Which one's hiding his emails?
King Ghidorah.
Oh, God. No, King Ghidorah is just Vladimir Putin.
Oh my.
Can somebody make fan art of that, please? Just Russian King Ghidorah. He's all red and he's got like a star of the Soviets.
Jesus.
Which monster is Obama? That's a toughie.
Oh God.
That's a toughie. I would say in the Toho universe, probably either I would probably say the Frankenstein monster or Baragon. I don't know. I just pulled that out of my ass. Watch, it's gonna get all kaiju politics.
Oh, yeah.
Focus on that in the movie. I want to see what the kaiju politics are like.
Kong is Trump. We're gonna build a wall around the island.
Kong would just crush him.
Yeah, build a wall
Kong
around
would just
Skull
crush
Island.
Trump like Fred Wilson.
Oh God! Don't let any of the Skull Island immigrants in.
Oh God! Oh, by the way, I did something actually kind of cool the other day. I took Kong 76, and I let me just see which one it is here. I took the movie, and I took like the Kong 76 movie, and I converted it onto this. Because apparently it's funny. Because my next episode is on video formats, like movie formats, on how there were so many different formats. Like I just bought off eBay Kong 33 and 76 on CED, but then doing my research, I found out there's something called Video 8, which was sort of during the format wars of the 80s between Beta and VHS. Video 8 was basically, if you remember when you made home movies back in the day, you made them on these really shitty little cassette tapes. They tried to market these as a video format, and basically you could watch movies on your camera screen, on your viewfinder. So they put like Top Gun and Ghostbusters, but they never released any of the Kong movies on the format. So I just said fuck it and made one, because that's the kind of shit I do. And it's pretty easy. You just connect the camera to like your VCR and it works pretty well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
God, the chat is going on about the politics and kaiju thing.
Oh God, what have I done? What have I done?
Xi Jinping.
Like, will the senator yield?
Bernie Sanders is Gamera.
Oh, who's I'm gonna guess maybe like Everest, the Trade Federation.
You know what?
This is outrageous. When you recommend the Senate send somebody to answer the truth.
I just thought of a really sick joke.
It's just all political crap. Oh my God. It's like, I see what's going on. I'm like, shut up.
You know what?
Shut up.
I just thought of a really sick joke. You know who Justin Trudeau would be when Mechagodzilla had the fake Godzilla skin on?
Oh, you could call it a Mechagodzilla. You could call it a Mecha Trudeau.
Hey, Mechagodzilla, isn't that blackface? Come on, that's not funny.
No, we're not going there, guys. We're not going there. Keep it clean. Keep it PG. We got children in the audience.
Oh.
But yeah, and no, yeah, did G-Fest got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. Sucks. I was wanting to go this year.
I'll have to go next year.
Yeah, I'm definitely... No, that's the thing, too. You got to remember this. Given the entire con season is canceled for, like, the year, it's no doubt that attendance is going to double on every convention next year.
Mm-hmm. Well, so Comic-Con at home, that's still happening, but...
G-Fest is going to be packed next year. Like, they're probably going to get double the attendance. Like, and that's fine, because, hey, I met 50 fans last year, so, like, fuck, I'm doing that again. And at some point, we all of us in our little kaiju group, we got to do a video together.
Oh, yeah.
We got to do a big collab on our... No! Oh, my God, I got it. For JT is Reborn, I got it. We all go and co-review with JT is Reborn Godzilla's Revenge. All of us. So you, me, Sean, D-Man 1954 joins us.
Cinematic trash probably will go there
Cinematic trash.
again.
We can somehow get Nick in there.
Oh God, no! Nick's not going to Chicago. He says he's never
No,
going.
but we can just get him on like a cam or something. But that'd be the funniest review. And we just rip into the movie for like 2 hours. Oh, yeah. No, you know what's funny? I showed Jessica Rose cosplay. I gave her a quick little 101 history of Godzilla because she's big into like Japanese material and anime, so she'd never really gotten fully into Godzilla, but she's kind of into the whole like the fan art that people have made of shipping Godzilla and Mothra together, which is weird. Thank you, DeviantArt.
Oh my God.
But I was showing
her.
her the history, and she was like, "Wow, okay, that's really dark and disturbing and shit." And then we get to fucking Son of Godzilla, and when she sees Minya, I was thinking, "Oh God, she's gonna hate this," but she was like, "Oh, that's so cute!" Like she was actually like getting all emotion. I thought, "Okay, is Son of Godzilla gonna be her favorite Godzilla movie?" and then we went directly to Godzilla's Revenge, and she's like, "Oh my God, I hate this." I love how quickly she went from loving him to hating him. It's great.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like, if you ignore Godzilla's Revenge, then he's fine. Actually, she liked Godzilla Jr. and Space Godzilla more.
I don't even know if that's better or not.
I like Godzilla Jr. because the Heisei era is always my personal favorite because it's like the Batman animated series of Godzilla movies. So, you know, it's like it's dark and serious, and then it can also be a little bit more friendly at times, but it's very 90s action. So
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's like Godzilla Extreme. Because that was all the 90s was just extreme shit. In fact, I'll say this, like, I love the Lord of the Rings, but you got to remember when it was in pre-production and the script was being written and started shooting, that was in the late 90s. So in Lord of the Rings, you look at it as this magnificent film based on the writings of the great J.R.R. Tolkien. But some of the action scenes, you're like, this is a very 90s extreme action. Like, Legolas is going around like goddamn Tom Cruise.
Jack and Ryan, what are your favorite Heisei movies? For me personally, God, this is a pretty hard one for me to pick. I like Mechagodzilla 2, probably the best.
A lot of people like that one. I'm a fan of 84, Space Godzilla, and Destroya.
I think 84 is boring.
Destroya is still my favorite Godzilla movie.
84 is boring.
I love 84. Like, 84 was one of the first ones I watched, and one thing I really enjoy, I actually do like the American cut. In fact, what was this? I don't own the official DVD. I bought this version at Fan Expo at a booth that was selling kind of shady. This was before this was officially released. And it comes with both the Japanese and American cut, and actually a couple bonus features. So it's obviously a bootleg, but it actually comes with like 3 discs.
Jeez.
So it's really cool, but I love the Japanese version, don't get me wrong, but I appreciate the Roger Corman American cut because the fact they brought in Raymond Burr. And honestly, his speech at the end is a really emotional one. Like, was that his last movie?
I have no idea.
I don't know, because I'm thinking this is kind of like a Jimmy Stewart scenario where his last film was An American Tale, 5 Goes West, and his last speech at the end of the film is actually kind of a nice little send-off for him as a person.
Shit, I don't know. Man, but like 84, I like the design a lot, but like I remember watching it and thinking like, damn, this is freaking boring.
Yeah, why are there space lice? Or sea lice? Like giant light thing.
Biollante, I haven't seen in a while.
Did they escape the lost spider pit scene? What the hell?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's weird, but like the one thing I can say about the movie that I love, the score is fantastic. It's not Akira Ifukube.
Oh, I like it too.
The opening title scene, you know what it reminds me of? It's like Godzilla meets the theme to The Godfather. So much. Like at the end of Godzilla's Revenge, or at the end of Godzilla vs. Destroyer, you cut to Marlon Brando. Look how they massacred my boy. Look how they disintegrated my boy. It has a very Godfather. It almost feels like this. Like you look at it, like, was this movie directed by Francis Ford Coppola? What the hell?
You know what? A lot of them, out of all the music, I think the best is like the American theme of Godzilla's Revenge. That stupid Sean knows what I'm talking about, but
Oh god, no, the fucking music, the Son of Godzilla, how it opens, because it's like, wow, how did we get to dark themes by Akira Ifukube to do? It's like something out of Barney the Dinosaur. But I love Brendan Terrell's review where he's like, can you imagine cutting this in the original Godzilla? It's just like Godzilla destroying, killing innocent people. You just have this wacky music like, oh, here we go again. Oh my god.
you know what? We need a whole movie of like Minya just like talking.
No. And then like, you know what it is? And we find out where he is who was the mother. It was the Pillsbury Doughboy.
No, it'd be Mothra to satisfy the fan boner.
Oh god! No wonder he looked utterly like somebody had alcohol with their baby when they were still pregnant. I don't want to offend people, so I'm just trying to think alcohol, like mother who drank too much alcohol while she was pregnant. It's all deformed and shit. It's like, oh god.
Oh god. Hey,
like
you know what
I think the biggest comparison I can make to Minya reminds me of the baby from Dinosaurs.
You know what? Yeah.
You know, not the mama. Yeah, you know, actually, the guy who plays the baby from Dinosaurs is also the guy who puppeteers Elmo. Yeah, it's
Really?
the same guy because, like, you know, he's the guy to go to if you want really kind of wacky. He's the kind of guy that wanted the really funny billable voices. Yeah, so I fucking love that. So just the fact that's Elmo. There's great bloopers of him just like flipping his shit on set. And that's the one thing I'll say about Dinosaurs, like, and shit like the Flintstones movie and stuff. The sets are great. Like, they're just these big, giant rock cave sets.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while.
What, the Flintstones movie?
Yes.
Flintstones movie still holds up. I don't. People seem to hate it, but it's like I love it. Like I
remember liking it.
I think the thing that really holds up for me about that film is just the production design. It looks like it's out of the cartoon.
Well, a lot of that stuff was practical, so it like.
The greatest quote from review I've seen is the Nostalgia Critics review, and I love when he cuts to like the shot of Bedrock, and he's like, "That's not the set. It's the Happy Meal toys on display." And what's funny is that's so true because I remember as a kid, because remember, I'm like almost 30 for God's sakes. The McDonald's, I remember this in '94 when the movie came out. McDonald's had put out a Happy Meal promotion for the movie, and they were actually the Flintstone houses with one of the cars, and there were like 5 or 6 of them in the collection, but they look like the sets from the movie, or at least the model. Like if you took those Happy Meal toys and you put them in a distance and you got good shots, you can make it look like a wide shot model of Bedrock. And, you know, hell, I don't even mind Viva Rock Vegas. Like, it's stupid as hell. But again, great designs. There are some funny moments in it. Like, I love the upgrade of fucking Rosie O'Donnell from Betty to a fucking octopus. Like, in one scene, one cameo.
Oh.
And then, like, what? The bad guy is Thomas Gibson from Criminal Minds?
Oh my god! You know what I saw recently? I watched the newest one of the George Carlin, Thomas the Tank Engine dubbing. They have a new one out in January.
Oh man, I gotta do. A lot of people want me to do another one. I might do another one soon.
They got pretty popular on your channel, but I remember this was so goddamn funny.
God, George Carlin right now, in the way the world is, would be rolling in his grave.
I know. Well,
like,
yeah.
He literally, you dig him out, you reclone him, you bring him back. It's like, welcome back, Mr. Carlin. We're here to help. You're here to help us change the world. He looks out. He's like, the world's too fucked to be changed. Put me back in the hole.
I listened to his album "You're All Disease" from 1999, and in it, he literally talks about a super virus. And it's like when you listen to it, it's like, oh my god. It's like, dude, he predicted it.
Because I love when he talks about literacy, like because you know how like today, you know, everybody's politically correct and find different
language
words
and all that,
pretty like bad things. So when he talks about the airplane safety lecture, and he's like, in the unlikely event of intense cabin pressure, roof flies off.
We would like to begin the pre-boarding process.
I'm so glad, because how old are you, man? Like, you're like, what,
I turned
20?
18 on June 3rd.
Dude, you're one of the good kids who's raised right. You know, if you listen to George Carlin, especially at your age, you're gonna grow to be a very good guy.
Oh, he changed my life completely. Like I
Oh,
found him
same
out like
here.
3 years ago. Like totally changed my perspective on everything.
Yeah, because he doesn't fuck around. It's you know, he just gives it as it is. Like, I want all his comedy in a book and be like, there's my Bible.
Yeah, the legacy of George Carlin. A few thousand pages.
Is there actually a book of that? Because I think I need that.
I mean, he has like 5 books that he wrote.
Of course he has 5 books.
I listen to all of his material now because I listen to it at work. Like even his 70s stuff I like a lot.
Background noise.
Yeah, his 70s stuff is actually really funny too.
That's me with it's him and Robin Williams. Hands down best stand-up of all time.
I like Dave Chappelle.
Oh, Dave. Okay, have you ever seen the skit he did on Chappelle's show with Godzilla?
I didn't actually see what he did a Godzilla one.
Okay, so on the Chappelle show, a show that didn't last too long,
unfortunately,
wouldn't be around, would not survive today. He talked about how he went on this round world vacation, and the first thing he went to was San Francisco, and it cuts to him in San Francisco, but it looks like he's a Grand Theft Auto character. So they have all the stats and the points and everything. But then he says he went to Japan. He says, you know, Japan's really cool. Check it out. And he shows a little, like a kind of a shitty model of Japan. And like, obviously it's on a soundstage and all these Asian actors. And they're like, oh, no! And here comes a kaiju-sized Dave Chappelle walking like in like a slow frame rate. And fucking one of the fucking guys is like, Black Shida, right for your life! And he like, and it's great because he uses the track to Simon Says by, I can't remember who the artist is, but they use the Godzilla theme in a rap. Right? And what happens is that he grabs like a plant, like kind of a power plant pipe, and then he grabs a tree and he stuffs it into the pipe. It's like, monster smoking the trees! And then the best part, Godzilla actually shows up in a shitty rent mascot outfit, but it's so funny because they apparently there's like, according to Dave Chappelle, the Showa Godzilla films, it's literally the equivalent of the cartoon where it's like, oh no, a monster's attacking, summon Godzilla. I don't remember them ever, like kind of intentionally or whatever ever summoning him.
No.
They only used him as a plot convenience. So like if they needed Godzilla, they would just wake him up with a bolt of lightning or something. But they never had like a radio that said, it's like, all right, unleash Godzilla. You know, they never did that. So I think that's just the stereotype of the cartoon. So Godzilla shows up and friggin' Dave Chappelle's like, oh, snap! I thought you was locked up.
Oh god, have you seen the movie Half Baked with Dave Chappelle?
I have not seen that one. There's a couple, like, I'm only catching up on a few movies now in terms of comedies and stuff. Like I just discovered Hindenburg with George C. Scott, so I want to watch that. That actually looks really good.
Yes, I have seen the epic rap battle with George Carlin, Donnie. That was really funny, actually.
There's a couple of George Carlin comedies I have yet to see. So,
dude, they can't do Bill and Ted 3 without Rufus, though.
True, yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, I got this whole freaking shelf of nothing but DVDs and also VHS copies of my movie. Which,
I need
by
to
the
get
way,
a DVD.
Promotion time. If y'all want a VHS copy of my movie, just message me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and they're $5 plus shipping. So if you ever want one,
I'll have to get a DVD.
Well, we're trying to get a DVD going, but we want to get our big documentary out first, which is taking a while. We're taking our time on. So
documentary of what, the making of it or whatnot?
The making of our movie. Like we want to do one of those like 40-hour-long documentaries.
You're just gonna take all of like Bride's footage that he filmed?
Well, that, and also there's some footage nobody's seen yet. There's interviews and stuff kind of reflecting, but we're working on it slowly. We're just trying to figure out how to structure it.
That'll be interesting.
So yeah, there's that. There's there's all kinds of stuff. It's weird because like nowadays, like it's normally around the summer. It's kind of a weird trend. You ever go through like over the summer a series, like you start watching a lot of blockbusters, especially if they're on TV?
Yeah, I definitely do watch a lot of shit in the summer.
Like, it's mostly for me, like, 70s to 90s blockbusters. So, in July, I'll watch all the Jaws movies. Around, whenever there's, like, a storm outside, I'll watch Twister. You know? I think because July, because, you know, it's like, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business. You know? I love how, like, that sums up all the capitalism in the United States. Everybody's the mayor from Jaws. Like, oh, coronavirus, This is the 4th of July. Those beaches will be open.
True. See books. Oh, Cat Kong and Dogzilla. Yes, I used to love those books.
Yeah, it's funny because like I knew because I found that book at a thrift shop. I hadn't seen it in years, so I picked it up. But I knew when I was planning that review, I was like, since they made Godzilla, I had to make a joke about just cute little cat and dog fighting with Godzilla and Kong sound effects in the background.
Man, I used to love those books.
Oh, those were great. I love the puns. And you know what I found out? The guy who wrote those is the same guy who did the Captain Underpants series.
Yep, Dave Pilkey.
Yeah, I granted, I've never read Captain Underpants, but like I know of it. So I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
I definitely did.
I mean, there were only a few books I read as a kid. Like, I'm really into reading now, but when it came to books as a kid, like children's novels and stuff, I was really into the Magic Treehouse series.
Oh, geez. I don't even know if I know about that.
Okay, the Magic Treehouse series was 2 kids, a brother and a sister, who find this treehouse out in the middle of the goddamn woods, and there's nothing but books. And then all of a sudden, they open a book, and then the treehouse spins, and they go to that world in the book. So it's kind of like the Page Master. But like, but basically, it's like, you know, they go to the time of dinosaurs, they go to ancient Egypt, they go to a medieval castle and stuff. But then eventually, they it turns out the treehouse is run by Morgan Le Fay of Camelot. And it's just, it's like, and each set of books, like 4 books equals 1 story arc. So they were released very, I think of every 6 months. But what's weird is that the author started getting requests for them to go, for the characters to go in certain places. Somebody requested, apparently the biggest request that she ever got was to have the 2 kids on Titanic.
Oh.
Because I guess the Cameron movie was still really popular, but I remember that one. But yeah, it was a great set of books. And I think about 5 years ago, I heard Lionsgate got the movie rights, which I'm like, thank you. This is the one series of kids' books I want to see turned into a movie. Or at least like a Netflix series.
There's a lot of shit they should have Netflix. Actually, the Pacific Rim Netflix series, if that's still happening, I'm going to be excited for that. But
you know what I actually wouldn't mind is a not necessarily a Netflix series, but more of a Netflix mini-series. Do a mini-series on King Kong. Like, kind of like the It movies, like those old mini-series that they used to air on TV. Do like a TV version of Kong, but it's a mini-series and it's like 4 hours.
Do it like 90s adventure style, too, like that.
Yeah, like go for like the 96 graphic. Because apparently people had told me that, because I only mentioned it briefly in my 96 episode, that apparently BBC was planning to do a Kong adaptation in the late 90s, and I guarantee it was right after the success of Walking with Dinosaurs, and they were probably going to use the same models, and it was supposed to be a mini series, but they couldn't get the rights. They canceled it, and I think that's what they led up to doing The Lost World instead with Bob Hoskins, and using the same CG models from Walking with Dinosaurs. They got their money's worth out of those models.
Oh yeah.
Like I'll say this about Walking with Dinosaurs: the Allosaurus design in that one is my personal favorite design of that animal. Because like the problem I had with the Jurassic World Allosaur, it was too generic. It didn't feel special enough. You know, had they used like the model out of like Walking with Dinosaurs, I would have been like, okay, yeah, that's an Allosaurus.
Man, I haven't seen those movies in a while.
Well, which ones? The Jurassic Park movies?
No, the like all the I used to be like dinosaurs, like Walking with Dinosaurs. I used to watch all like the Nat Geo stuff. There's a bunch of Nat Geo stuff I used to watch.
Well, if I can make her, I'm trying to think if any of you haven't seen. So you've seen obviously all the Jurassic Park films, so that's a plus. It's funny. Have you ever? How many of the Land Before Time movies have you seen?
I haven't seen any of those. I don't even want to get started.
Okay, you know what? Just watch the first film. If you're gonna stick with the sequels, do 2 to 5, or actually 2 to 6, and then 10, and that's all you need. Because like not all of them are like kind of interconnected in continuity, so it's like you can pretty much watch any of them and get the point across. But if you're gonna watch any of the sequels, it's 2 through 6 and then 10, and then you're pretty much all good to go. You don't need to watch any more of them. But the first one's spectacular. In fact, I have this idea. I've thought about this because funny story. Like yesterday, I was mowing the hill. I was mowing the lawn and everything. And I usually listen to my music as like background noise while the lawnmower is going off and shit. Who doesn't do that? And I was listening to James Horner's track to Land Before Time. Now, after the success of The Lion King, which the live action one, which I did kind of like. Like, I liked it visually. Like, stories, it's the same shit. It's like, if you go for it as a muted visual experience, it's actually pretty spectacular. I'm one of those people that have been kind of advocating that Universal should cash in and make a live action Land Before Time movie, like a remake. But say, like, I was directing it, the one trade I would have, we make visually, like, the most, like, probably the most visually impressive CG dinosaurs ever on the screen. Like, this goes past Jurassic Park. They're the most photorealistic dinosaurs. We keep the James Horner score because the James Horner score is fantastic. But my only thing I would make that's different to the original, the dinosaurs don't talk. It is a completely visual story told experience.
That would be interesting.
And like, if you're going to hear them kind of speak, it would be in kind of like little roars. So like, when a certain character passes and you see the baby, and the baby, instead of just saying "mama," it's like you tell it visually and through like sound effects. You don't have any of them talk. So you go for like almost like a documentary style. And again,
that'd be cool.
No narrator, nothing. You tell the story as a visual piece.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Yeah. So, and if I'm going to recommend any others that aren't of today's quality, things like 1 Million Years BC by Ray Harryhausen is a masterpiece. That's probably my second favorite dinosaur movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ray Harryhausen, actually.
Oh, dude, the Harryhausen, believe it or not, only made like 2 dinosaur movies in his career. He made, or 3. I actually count them 3. He made The Animal World, which was a whole just dinosaur documentary segment. Then he did 1 Million Years BC for Hammer, which was supposed to be a remake of Kong, but they couldn't get the rights, so they did 1 Million BC instead. I'll say this, the dinosaurs, even though they're stop motion in 1 Million Years BC, some of the most photorealistic dinosaur sequences I've ever seen, and they're all in stop motion.
I've seen clips from it.
Like the scene with the Ceratosaurus and the Triceratops, that's one of the greatest dinosaur sequences ever put to film, because it's just so photorealistic, just 2 beasts in this volcanic landscape fighting to the death, and it's brutal. There's no music. It's just the brutal sounds of it. It felt so real. It didn't feel like, oh, run away and use your imagination. No, you felt like you were like in the middle of this conflict and you had to find your way out of these animals.
Yeah. I'll be back in a sec, by the way.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, Valley of Pwangi is another one. We'll talk about more when he gets back. But let's see. Anybody have any questions while we're here? Make Sarah less annoying. Probably Emma Clark. Say Jack Ryan, do you guys see a fan-made 90s Godzilla versus King Kong teaser made on my channel? Haven't seen that yet. I'll have to check that out, Jared. I want to see a composer of Skyrim do a movie. Ooh, okay, yeah. I know what. Put him on that Lord of the Rings Amazon series. That'd be amazing if he did that. Going to review martial arts movies. The only one I'd have interest in, David, is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, because that's one of my favorite films. That's the only one I have really any interest in, quote unquote, reviewing, basically. Really the only one, in terms of martial arts movies. Aside from dated animation, Woody Allen and Katzenberg, what do you find ants? Why do you find ants to be mean-spirited? I think it's not, no, I didn't say that. I think you mistaken my opinion on Shrek. Shrek is more mean-spirited. If Ants is mean-spirited, it's mostly because it was a big middle finger by Katzenberg for A Bug's Life, because I like A Bug's Life more. And Katzenberg, because that was right after Katzenberg left Disney. He's like, okay, fine, fuck you guys. I'm going to rip on your company, and I'm also going to rip on your ideas. So, that's what he basically was. And it just felt like a big middle finger saying, hey, I'm going to take that bug idea, but I'll make it more for the adult audience. And it just, wasn't good. Thoughts on the movie Commando? I have not watched it yet, GT. It is on my to-do list, as Shrek would say. Oh, nice. GTA. I know what? I played GTA 4 first stage. Hated it. I'm not a big GTA fan. I'm more of a Halo guy. I I have Caveman. I have yet to watch it. I know the stop motion is by the brilliant Jim Danforth. And it stars Ringo Starr, who is my favorite Beatle, and also one of the best Mr. Conductors. He's in it, but that's on my to-do list as well. What would you do with A Bug's Life 2? That's a good question. I think we're a little too late for a sequel, even though if they announced if they were making a sequel, I'd be all for it. It's kind of weird how you would do it. I would go more with, like, let's see, honestly, Flick and Dot, or not Flick and Dot, no, not Dot, Flick and Ada get together. Let's see, maybe Hopper's offspring comes in. Let's explore more of the world. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know what I would do with the sequel. I would leave that to the hands of Pixar. I don't know what I would do with it. Just get Randy Newman back to sing, Bugs Life 2, Bugs Life 2, we're making a sequel. You're not getting my Randy Newman today, unfortunately.
I saw someone earlier say they said, Jack, make a sequel of Son of Kong. Like, can't really go anywhere.
That is the one question I get all the time on my channel since I did my movie is, am I going to do a sequel? I pretty much have to come out and say the answer is no. Although, I might have a compromise later on. I'm thinking I'll give people a sequel in the style of a King Kong review. So basically talking about what if I made a sequel, what would happen?
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. It'd be like a let's talk. So I'd be all improvising, saying, here's what I would do. Here's how I would handle it. But you ain't getting it. It would not be possible for me personally. Because the thing is, the reason I don't want to do a sequel, one, the cast would more than likely not come back because they were just put through the ringer on that, and God bless them, they did such a good job. And also half of them, they've kind of gone and done their own thing. Although I'm talking to a lot of them lately. I just reached out to Harley, who's one of the sailors in the film. I've actually been reaching out to Brett Charles, who played Jack Driscoll. If you guys don't know, Brett's been keeping busy. Probably like maybe 2 or 3 years out, or maybe actually I want to say maybe 2 years after Kong, he had a son. He had a kid, and he's a really great dad, and he's taking care of his kid. But I told him, hey, when you get some time, man, if you ever want to come up and like shoot the shit and get back into videos and be on our show again, great. Because believe it or not, aside from Cog, he only appeared in one video, and that was my review of Oz the Great and Powerful back in season 1. But part of me wants to I want to work with Brett because one of the things I loved about working with him was that he was the funniest one. Like when he's not playing the action hero, his humor was fantastic on set. Like he kept us all giggling even when we were just exhausted. He kept us laughing, which is great. He had such a great sense of humor. If you watch the bloopers, you'll know what I'm talking about. But definitely want to work with him again because he's such a great actor. Because I kind of saw, it's funny because we were casting that while we were in our last years of high school, and they were just all my schoolmates, and I just looked at him like, he looks heroic-like, hero-like. He had a bit of a Bruce Campbell look to him, which is what I was kind of going for. I thought of Bruce Campbell mixed with Jeff Goldblum mixed with the hairstyle of Weird Al Yankovic.
WB should recast Lex Luthor. I think he's fine.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Brett Charles is Lex Luthor. Oh, God. He'd be smoking kryptonite the whole time. Oh, God. And, yeah, I've just been keeping track. A lot of the actors have been kind of off and on. If I need actors, I'll bring them in. But a lot of times they got their own lives to fill, and, you got to kind of respect that after working with some people, But there are a lot of people I still work with. I still work with Brad. He's been pretty much the biggest person on the channel that's stuck around since Kong. In fact, that's the thing. We met in the high school, and we kind of became completely close friends while we were shooting the movie. And at the time, he was doing his it's funny because in his early days of YouTube, he did all these really kind of odd jackass videos with his kind of neighborhood buddies because they're up north. And eventually, as he was watching us make the movie, he started to get into the process, and he was like, "I think I can do this." So that's how he started. He got influenced by me. He's like, "I'm gonna make a channel now." So yeah, that was actually pretty cool. There's a lot of cast members we still keep track of.
Uma Thurman is Zandero.
God,
Nah.
no.
No.
Nah. Well, it's funny, in the 90s, it was supposed to be, I think Jackson was torn between Kate Blanchett or Kate Winslet.
Okay, Winslow would have made sense, but
Yeah, well, the
no
thing was, it
Titanic.
was like pre-Titanic Kate Winslet. Or just
Yeah, they would've-
imagine Kate Winslet's acting in Titanic in a Kong movie. It actually would have worked pretty well. Have you ever seen Titanic?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Titanic's amazing. You know what? I'll say this. Billy Zane would be an amazing Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Like the rich Lex Luthor and make him bald. Oh, he could do that. Now it's like, half the people on Krypton are going to die. Not the better half, because I'm Lex Luthor, and I'm the greatest criminal of all time. Lovejoy, find Lewis. I love Billy Zane. And also, I don't know if you knew this, Ryan. Did you know that Billy Zane, one of his first movies, he was one of Biff's minions in Back to the Future?
Dude, I haven't seen Back to the Future.
Oh my god. Okay, dude. Do you have Netflix?
Yeah.
After this stream, sit your ass on a couch, go to Netflix, and watch the entire trilogy. You are going to be, at least the first one, you're going to be blown away how good it is. It is the quintessential time travel movie.
You know what? Like, I don't even have time to watch shit. Like,
time! You don't have time! Ha!
Okay, like I work all the time, and when I'm not doing that, I try to do YouTube stuff. I'm right now. I'm trying to binge the whole Arrowverse right now, so I'm trying to.
Well, fucking Back to the Future is only like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the length of a Disney movie.
I'll get around.
Also, Marty's mom is played by Howard the Duck's girlfriend. Oh, please tell me you've seen Howard the Duck.
Nope.
Okay, good. Because like, if you had said yes, I'm like, how have you seen Howard the Duck and not Back to the Future? That make no goddamn sense. Because yeah, like in fucking Howard the Duck, Leah Thompson has sex with Howard. It's pretty much implied. She fucked a duck. Instead of deflowered, she got defeathered. Oh my god. Oh god. What do the children look like?
I haven't seen Back to the Future or any of these big movies, but I have seen The Amazing Spider-Man 1977, the TV movie.
Oh, the one with like the Japanese Power Rangers footage?
No, the American one.
Oh god.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
though.
to think Cameron was gonna do a Spider-Man movie at one point. Yeah, like pre-Sam Raimi, Cameron was supposed to do Spider-Man.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Just trying to see what the comments here. Going to review other books. Not currently, even though Joe DeVito and his buddies are going to be sending me review copies. I'll just do them as an update video. I won't do them as a full review. What do I hate about 10,000 BC? The title made me think it was going to be with cavemen and dinosaurs. That was a fucking lie. And also the fact it's directed by Roland Emmerich, a.k.a. one of the worst directors ever.
I have seen Batman and Robin, but it was a while
I like
ago.
that one. No, I know people hate it, but look, it was my childhood. I was the right age because I was one of the suckers who bought all the merchandise. So I was the prime audience for it. So actually, you know what's funny? We have plans for Batman and Robin. Let me just see if I have it here. We're gonna go. You're gonna like this actually, Ryan. Let me see if I have it here. Shit. Oh, here it is. What we're gonna do is for Batman and Robin, like I like the movie, but the problem is like a lot of people hate it. I understand people hate it. And out of respect for people hating it, we're gonna be I'm gonna start collecting copies of it on VHS, right? Like you can get these at any store for $1 now. And what we're gonna do is, you know the song in Batman Forever when Robin steals the Batmobile and they play the song Smash It Up?
Oh, yes.
Okay, we're gonna take that song and we're gonna go to Comic-Cons with copies of this movie and a crowbar. And we're gonna beat it as bad as Joker did to Robin, Jason Todd. So we're gonna hand copies. We're gonna film, myself literally smashing it up. But then we're gonna go to other DC cosplayers and we're gonna say, "Here, guys, we're gonna film a YouTube video. We want you to smash Batman and Robin." So we're gonna have maybe 20 copies, and we're just gonna take big cosplayers outside. And we're gonna have to say, "Just smash the fucking movie."
That sounds fun.
That's a good finale, right? To the Batman Robin. We're just gonna be like, and you just hear, we've been crying out for much too long. I love that song. The Batman and Robin album, the Batman Forever album, next to Space Jam, is the most 90s album ever. I think peak 1990s was 95, 96.
I can't say much for the 90s. I never experienced it. So.
Well, yeah, and you missed out. It was like a decade of world peace before everything went to shit.
Yeah, the early 2000s were kind of fun, but 9/11 kind of just
No, well, it lasted for about a good 5 years, and then everything started to slowly kind of go back to normal. And then, it was kind of like 2005 to 2015 was a pretty decent decade. And then 2016 fucked everything up again.
Hey, this guy keeps asking why you don't like Gone with the Wind.
I've never seen Gone with the Wind, so I have no opinion. So, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
You know what? I saw Casablanca. I thought it was a boring-ass movie.
Okay, well, you gotta remember, it was aimed more for audiences back then. And it's more of a love story. It's not an action movie. It's a love story.
I know it's like film noir crap, but I really just didn't. I don't know. It's just fucking dry.
It was because it was a movie of its time. It was my grandmother's favorite movie, so Humphrey Bogart's great. I can't remember who the actress was who played the girl. And isn't fucking Peter Lorre in that?
Dude, I don't remember shit.
Peter, it's like, Reek, help me with these Jesus. That guy's I think it was fucking Igor or something in one of the Frankenstein movies. So that's why he sounded like that. Yes, master. Yes.
God. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that movie.
Yeah, there's a couple of classics that are worth seeking out. You're probably not one for the romance stuff, so you wouldn't like Gone with the Wind. The only good factor about Gone with the Wind, as far as I know, is that the scene with the fire, that was the Skull Island wall from 1933.
Huh.
Because if you ever wondered what happened to the big wall in the original film, they burnt that shit down and Gone with the Wind.
That's interesting.
There's a whole fire scene where the whole place is on, the mansion catches fire, so they just use the wall from Kong.
That's fun. The only there's a couple classic things I like. I like King Kong, obviously. I love the Three Stooges. That's awesome. Always.
I heard the movie they just did a few years ago actually wasn't that bad.
I haven't seen it. It's from 2012, I think.
Yeah, it's they say it's a bad movie, but it's not as bad as you think it is. Apparently there are parts where it's okay, that's actually pretty funny. And it's funny, I remember actually at the time, I didn't see much of it, but at the time I was actually working at a movie theater. So it's funny, what I would do is in between my breaks, I would actually go and peek and see a couple, on my 15, 30-minute break, I would probably grab a little popcorn or something and just watch 30 minutes of a film if they were screening it on my break. So yeah. I would do that. And I remember, it was great. So we were screening Cabin in the Woods. And at first I thought, seeing the trailers, I'm like, okay, this is just some sort of creepy little cabin movie. So I go in watching at least maybe 5 minutes of the first half. Or the first third. And I'm like, okay. Come back for the 5 minutes of the third act, and there's all this weird shit going on. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell happened in between? What's going on? There's weird snakes and zombies and vampires and all this weird shit. I thought this was a movie about a creepy cabin.
I'm not a fan of horror at all.
Well, horror takes a bit to get to. Okay, I was gonna say, in terms of classic horrors, watch the Universal monster movies. Those are great.
Yeah. I've heard
Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Creature from the Black. You'll have a great fun with those. Those are fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen some more recent horror movies with like my friends, and it's just
Oh, they're
not.
hoot and holler. If you watch them with friends, they're even more fun.
Yeah, I mean, I saw
Um,
like Pet Cemetery, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. What else did I see? I saw It 2 without seeing It 1, but whatever.
I mean, I can recommend a few horror movies. You've seen Jaws, obviously.
Yes.
Jaws is
Finally.
great. If you want a good ghost movie, because here's the thing, I always found ghost movies to be very boring. They're not scary, especially those Paranormal Activity movies. Pieces of shit. If I am to recommend one horror movie, watch the original Poltergeist. This is easily one of the scariest movies ever made.
All right.
Okay, basically, it's funny. It's directed by Tobe Hooper, who did the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But believe it or not, the person who actually made the damn movie was Steven Spielberg.
Oh.
Like, he produced it, but here's what happened, because the movie's actually cursed.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, because like the girl died and everything. So here's what I think was going on. Was that Steven was aware of the curse. So to avoid death, he pointed the finger at Tobe Hooper. And then what happens? Toby dies. So Spielberg's probably like, dodged a bullet. Right? So that's the thing. Yeah, that was sleazy and such a dick move on Steven's part. But you know what? Fuck, if he hadn't done that, we probably wouldn't have gotten Ready Player One or Jurassic Park. So good on Steven on that. But I just watched it again. It's still terrifying. It's like, out of all the ghost movies I've seen, rarely do they scare me. That one pissed the shit out of me.
I don't really like the thrill of like getting scared or all that shit. Like, it's
Well,
just not.
See, your horror movies today, they're all jump scares and they're annoying and like predictable as hell. Movies like Poltergeist, The Fly, and so on, they don't rely on jump scares. They rely on kind of the eerie feeling like something's going to happen. And then when you see it, it's not like a quick reveal. It's a slow reveal. You're just like, oh my God. and those are the best. Those are the best. Like, again, The Fly. I watched The Fly and I'm like, they don't jump scare. There's only like one jump scare in the whole movie. And you know what? It got me because it was one jump scare. One. So, like, I'm more of a fan of horror where there's like just an eerie feeling that you know is going on. It doesn't surprise you it's a jump scare. You just see what's happening. You're just like, whoa, fuck. You know, those are the best. Jump scares are overdone.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
Yeah, it's just they're not. Yeah, that's just horror movie. That's why I think horror movies are just not scary to me anymore. Like, the worst are the found footage ones. Like, those are the ones I'm so annoyed with those. There's only a few I can consider good.
It's cool when it's done like once or twice. But that's like anything, I guess.
Like, top 3 found footage movies that I actually found legitimately scary. Blair Witch Project being the first one, I still think is a very scary film. Cloverfield, it's not really a horror movie, but it's a kaiju movie in a found footage form. In fact,
yeah.
Like, I want to see when they said they were going to make sequels. My idea for the sequels would be the same story told from a different perspective.
Yeah, like different people.
From different people's cameras, you know? Because think about it, the government must have rounded all these cameras up. And what I would have called it Cloverfield B-roll. Or, you know, B camera. Because you know how, like, there's A camera and B camera? This would be B camera, meaning, like... And that's the thing. This would be the first time sequels are named after letters of the alphabet and not numbers.
Huh.
See, that would be interesting. You know, Cloverfield B, Cloverfield C. You know, Cloverfield double D. And that's the thing. So, like, I want to see the monster from other people. Maybe they were closer to the creature. Maybe they were in Queens. Maybe they were in fucking Washington State. And how far they could see this stuff going on. Like, I want to see the nuke go off. I want to see the aftermath. You know, I would say explore that route. Hell, like, if you want, tell it the aftermath, and then maybe suddenly, oh my God, this was connected to the Godzilla universe the whole time.
That would have been fun.
That would have been interesting. Like, just kind of connect it with that series. And say, surprise, you know, this was part of the Godzilla world. this whole time, and those other 2 sequels didn't count. And that was my biggest disappointment with Cloverfield, or what is it? What's that? The second one with John Goodman. What was it called?
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, because the teaser made me think this was after the monster attacked. So when the girl goes outside, there's like maybe like 15 of these damn things. And they've just consumed the earth like Skynet, you know? But it's like giant monsters. Like, how cool would have that been?
Yeah, the Cloverfield Paradox was all right.
I saw that. That was fucking terrible. I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, way to show the fucking monster bigger than the fucking planet at the end of the movie. Like, why? Just because it's Cloverfield. Like, shut up. Like, oh my god. Just give me a proper sequel. Sorry, I'm just looking outside and it's like the rain's, I think, starting to come in. So we're going to have to wrap this up soon.
Oh, rain.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to close it down now. So, again, thank you, Kaiju Network. We'll have you on again. It's just, I would go on longer, but again, this storm's really coming in. So if anybody has any more questions, let us know in the comments. Donate to our Patreon, and, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Again, thank you, Kaiju Network. Go check out everybody's shout-outs in the comments in the description. I will see you guys later. This is Big Jack Films signing off. It is getting really bad out there, and pray for us. Later, man.
See ya.
See ya.